Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be looking at the KDP colouring book niche, and in particular 5 sub-niches within the broad colouring book niche. And these have low competition and potential high profitability. So if you're interested in creating a business, making money with your computer or from home or with your laptop, then make sure you watch the whole video because it's very interesting. Now, if you haven't been here before, my name's Paul Marles and I do videos on how to make it, keep it and grow it, and that's your money I'm talking about. And if you do like videos like that, then make sure you hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and also smash that notification bell to receive notification of when I produce more videos like this. So we're going to be looking at the KDP colouring book niche. Now this is a broad niche, and if you try and produce books, you know, using a general keyword like colouring book, you're going to find that there's too much competition, and your chances of ranking and getting your book seen will be very slim, and therefore your chances of making money will also be very slim. So if you've seen one of my recent videos on the colouring book niche, which I'll leave a link to above, I looked at the keywords and I produced a spreadsheet of a whole lot of keywords which I was selling on Gumroad. I'll leave the link below to that. And I was looking through this list. I noticed that there were some sub-niches within this broad niche which looked very interesting. Interesting because they had Google searches. The number of search results on Amazon were 1,000 and less, which means the competition was quite low. Therefore, your chances of ranking highly for those keywords were good. And also, the bestsellers ranks were also below the target level of 300,000, which is what I set. I look for 3 or more books on the first page, ideally within the top 10, that have search results of less than 300,000, which means the books are selling. So the first one I want to look at is the quotes or motivational quotes colouring books. Now these are very popular, and if we go over to Amazon and just put in something like quote colouring book, we can see that these have got Google searches per month of 480 in the case of a quote colouring book. So let's have a look at that. Now I suspect the search results will probably be higher than 1,000, but if you notice on the left here, Amazon is suggesting these even more sub-niches within this niche, which would be good ones to target. So if we have a look, yes, as I said, 4,000 results, but if you were to niche down a bit on this, add in words like motivational quote colouring books, or adult colouring books with motivational quotes. That's another one that comes from the keyword list that I produced. And also an interesting one and quite amusing one within this is the swearing quotes or colouring books with swearing, or swearing colouring books. They're extremely popular and sell well. Now I'm going to show you in a moment why I particularly like these. But if we do look down quote colouring books, we can see we've got bestsellers ranks here of 1,399, 1,386, 3,522. These are all low bestsellers ranks, which means they're selling well. And just to give us an idea, if we just let's take a general figure around that the lower number and put in something like 2,000, just to give us an idea of how many of these are selling a month. Wow, 1,330 books per month. And if we look at how much these are selling for, I mean that one's $6.99, approximately $2 profit. This one here, $8.99, which would be probably somewhere between $2 to $3. So you can see that number of books with that amount of profit could create someone a full-time income just off one book. So it's worthwhile spending a little bit of time perhaps to create one of these. And I'll show you why I like these in particular. Now, if you were to think, well, where do I get the quotes? You can go to somewhere like Pinterest and put in motivational quote or funny quote, and you'll be given lots of these ideas. Also, affirmations are very popular as well, and that's a keyword you can put into Amazon to create your book. Also, affirmation, colouring books, affirmation, motivational quote colouring books, that type of thing. And there you can see you've got all these ideas. Now, this is the reason I like them. It's because they're very easy to create. And if we have a look inside one of these books, if we go here, you'll see what I mean. So here we have inside, and basically the way they are created is that they all tend to have this patterned background with a quote over the top for people to colour in. So you need basically two things to create these, and you can create them in Photoshop, Illustrator, Inkscape, or Gravit Designer, which is another free vector editing piece of software. So what you need is a pattern for the background, and you need to find a quote. I've just showed you how to do that on Pinterest, and you can combine these together to create a page quite quickly. And let's see how quickly we can produce one. So I'm going to go over to Creative Fabrica, and I've already put in colouring books, and we've got lots of options and ideas here. But straight away we've got these patterns here, and let's click on one. Okay, we've got this pattern here which I'm going to download, and then I'm going to open this up in Adobe Illustrator, and you can see what we've got here. Now we've got our pattern for our page. Now what I like to do is just use the ellipse tool. You can click on L and then just draw an ellipse on your page. Now we want to center this, so go over to the right hand side of Illustrator, go on to Align, make sure you've got Align to Artboard ticked, and then just click on Align Horizontal and Align Vertical, so that'll produce it in the center. So now we need our quote. Now I'm just going to make something up off the top of my head, something short, something like no pain, no gain. So we go over to the Type tool, and we click in no. Now I'm just going to enlarge that, move it up there. Don't worry about centering it for the moment. Now if you press on Alt, you can drag that down, and then Alt again and drag no down, and then click on Paint, drag that down, and just change the P to a G. Okay, and then we're going to just hold Shift and click on these words, and then again align them horizontally. I'm just going to enlarge those. I'm going to press Shift Alt and just enlarge those, move them down a bit. Now you may want to do this a bit fancier, but you're just getting the general idea. So if I just highlight all these again, I'm going to group them, Control G. Now we're going to outline these, so we go over to the right hand side, click on the stroke box here, double click it, and then we're going to outline them in black. Click on OK. Oh, do that again. OK, and then we'll click on the fill box, double click on there. Now we want this as white, click on white, click on OK, and you can see we've got our outlined words. Now we want to just increase the thickness of the stroke on these words, possibly to match the pattern as well. So we're going to increase that till it looks good, and I think about 4. So there you go, you can see we've got our page, which we can then just put a bounding box around all of this, copy and paste it into PowerPoint, and we've got our first page of our colouring book. Now a question I get asked is, how many pages should I put in my colouring book? Well, the easy answer to that is go and have a look what other people are doing. So if we go over to our list of books that were produced on Amazon and just hover over them, that one's got 107 pages, 103 pages, 112 pages, 103 pages. So you're looking at something like 100 pages, which normally you would do a colouring page on one side and a blank page on the other side. So you're looking at producing something like 50 colouring book pages. Yes, you've got to do these manually, or go over to Fiverr and just put in colouring book and get someone to create these pages for you. If you do them yourself, yes, it's going to take a bit of time, but just think if you can produce a book and get it ranking, the potential there for profits for the time you've spent is pretty good. Now, the next niche I looked at was the zombie, and I put in zombie colouring book. And you can see what I like here is, and this is using a plugin called Keyword Expander, and I've paid $10 for 100,000 credits. This has got 1,300 Google searches per month, so it's popular. And when we look at the keyword, it's got 1,000 results, so that's good. It means the competition is relatively low compared to many of the colouring book niches, which means there's a good chance of you being able to rank. So let's go and have a look at the bestsellers ranks. So this one here, 25,000, 593. Wow, that'll be selling a lot. 561,000, that's a bit high. So is that one? 112,000, 144,000. So straight away we can see that we've got a few books here with bestsellers ranks of less than 300,000. Now, along with zombie, the other prominent keyword I noticed when I was looking at this is horror. So you could put in horror colouring book. And we can see we've got all these suggestions here as well that Amazon's giving us suggestions of keywords that we could use to create our books, and maybe finds words that are even less competitive than this short tail keyword of horror colouring book. And I think if we put in zombie, we'll also get a number of suggestions as well for kids, for adults, for boys. So zombie, horror is a good one. Again, if you're an artist, you can create these yourself, or you can go and pay someone to create these for you. And particularly like this because also Halloween is coming up, so these will get even more popular as the next few months go by. And I have done some videos on the Halloween colouring books. Again, leave the link above. So we've got our quotes, we've got zombies and horror. And the next one is a type of illustration, originates in Japan, called kawaii or kawaii. I don't know exactly how you say that, but I think it's kawaii. And these are simple, cute illustrations. And if we click inside, we'll have a look at an example of some of these illustrations, these graphics, and you can see they're like the cute graphics with faces on. I've got some more examples here. So these are very basic, relatively easy to produce, particularly if you do have some drawing or graphic design skills. Again, you can outsource it. But if we have a look at the number of results, we put in kawaii colouring books and we've got 1,000. Again, competition is low, so you can rank. And also we've got these other keywords that we can use, so we can target some other markets as well, like kids, girls, teens. And there are a couple of other keywords associated with this that are related that you can also look at, and that is chibi, CHIBI, anime and manga. So they're related words that you can also use to do your research with, to get keywords to find those low competition, high profit books, which is what we all like. And the next one is Christian colouring books. So I'll look at the Amazon search bar and you can see we've got all these suggestions here. So there are sub niches we can target, such as children, women, kids, and a few of these have got Google monthly searches, which means they're popular. People are searching for them not only on Amazon but also on Google. So make sure you get your right keywords in the description, because that's what Google looks at as well. And if we just have a look, now we can see here this is got 4,000 search results, so that's a bit competitive. So you may want to add in things like adults, and we'll see what the search results for those are. And this is what I do when I'm searching my niches. And this time we've got 2,000. So what I would do, I'd put in our root keyword again, our short tail keyword, and I'd look down the list and maybe go for look at something like for kids. Now we're getting down, you see how we go. We've got 1,000 results here. We've got 70 Google search per month, so we've got a keyword that's popular. We know people are searching for it because it comes up in the Amazon search suggestions, and the competition is relatively low. Now let's have a look at the bestsellers ranks for these. So we've got Your God's Girl, so that's a Christian related one for kids, 1,917. Bible one, 12,000, 45,000, 75,000. Really good low bestsellers ranks. You're going to make a decent profit out of these, and I think this one would be relatively easy to rank for. So you can see the process I go through when I'm looking at keywords and deciding which market I'm going to target. And the last one is animals, but two particular animals, and that's dogs and cats, because these are extremely popular as pets and everyone loves their cats and dogs, and they make great presents. You know, if you're thinking about what to buy for someone where you know they've got a dog or a particular type of dog, people love to buy people dog presents. So these would be great around particularly around the holiday and Christmas time as well. So I've put in here cat colouring book. Let's have a look. Yes, we've got all these other suggestions as well, which is good. It means people are searching for these with variations in the keyword. And it's got Google search numbers. Now again, this has got 5,000 search results, so it's a bit competitive. It's a short tail keyword, so you'll want to look at those suggestions and start niching down even further into some of these other suggestions that you can see here on the left hand side. If you want those suggestions on the right hand side, that's a Chrome plugin called AMZ Suggestion Expander, and these are also words that are being searched for on Amazon. And we can see we've got Grumpy Cat Colouring Book, Pusheen Cat Colouring Book, Warrior Cat Colouring Book. Now I could think of all maybe different breeds of cats, maybe a Burmese cat colouring book you could create. And the same for dogs. So if we put in dog colouring book, again I suspect we're going to get a lot of search results just on this basic short tail keyword. So again, you'd be wanting to look at these longer tail keywords. And if we just do a search for this, and we got, yeah, as expected, 5,000 results, but look at those other suggestions, get the longer tail keywords, and we'll be able to see that these types of books again have low bestsellers ranks. And we can see here 26,000, 30,000, 50,000, 72,000, 39,000. These are going to be popular all year round, but particularly at gift giving time. So Christmas, holiday period, Thanksgiving, birthdays. These are going to be popular all the time. And again, I would suggest you look into this particular niche very closely. If you're not an artist, you can outsource the graphics. Someone like Fiverr, or go to something like Creative Fabrica, which is one of my favorites at the moment. I don't know, I'm going to just try this. If we put in dog colouring, see if we come up with any dog colouring images. It looks like we might, because there's already some suggestions here in the search bar. And yes, it comes up with these images that you can use. You need to check the licensing, obviously, so that you can use them in your commercial projects. But you could combine these together, combine them with patterns, create a scene. And also Vecteezy is another one of my popular go-to websites for graphics. If you want to use them in unlimited, you'd need to get the pro license, which I think is about $100 a year. If you don't get a pro license, I think you can only use these on selling 50 copies. But if you were to sell 50 copies, make $2 profit, you know, you'd have your money there to pay for the pro license. So yeah, you can put in colouring book, and again you've got all these patterns. I don't know what we get if we put in something like dog colouring book. Now you might say, well, nothing comes up here, but what you can do, because these are vector graphics, you can put them into something like Inkscape, Graphic Design, Illustrator. You can remove the colours and put outlines on them, so you can get your graphic as a colouring book image. So that's it for now. I've showed you the tools I use, where I get my graphics from, where I go to outsource my graphics, and also 5 niches there, which I've written a list just to remind me. We've got quotes, zombie, horror, kawaii or chibi, anime and manga. They've got Christian and Bible related colouring books, and also the cat and dog colouring books. So I suppose that's 2 niches within one, but the pet colouring book. So those give you some ideas of where you can go to find those profitable, low competition niches, which is what you're really after if you're going to succeed and make money online with this. So if you did like the video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. And also make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and until next time, goodbye.